All right, perfect. Previously on Always Bloody in Doskvol. I was going to say the Harbingers, but I'm like, that's not the name of the show. It's completely different. Previously on Always Bloody in Doskvol. We met the character Ish, who is currently on the run for selling a gun which he believes killed the leader of the Crows, and sparked the War of Crow's Foot between the Lampblacks, the Red Sashes, and the Crows. Meanwhile, Wren and Bo began to map the upper city and lower city, as it were, of Doskvol, mapping the catacombs and mapping the rooftop pathways throughout the city. And Wren got a new, shall we say, supplicant to the cult, attempting to find someone to sate her appetite. She instead inadvertently found a down and out college student who was just in the right time and right place and right mind frame to join a cult, as one does. Yeah, that's where we're gonna jump in.
That last person was Hawke who found the supplement.
What did I say?
Wren.
Oh, I'm sorry. I meant Hawke. I meant Hawke.
Different
rewind.
Hawke.
That explains the look that G gave. Like,
yeah.
Wren's like, I don't have appetites.
Guys, I prefaced this with I'm sick. Okay.
No. Wren also got the scullery made. Remember? So she did get an asset too.
I
Wren
don't.
was the student.
Only one of them is a supplicant to the cult.
Yes.
I think Wren just made a friend, which is very different. I think Wren tried to make a genuine connection with somebody. And
you get your friends in cults, right? That's the whole point. You bring them to the cult.
Inducted a cult member. So we are going to start as we had seen Satyr and Ish sort of bump into each other when returning. Satyr was returning from speaking with a friend of his. Returning to Six Towers, Ish had, of course, asked for a place to stay, as some sort of respite or a place to hide, really. And you were brought back to the Opera House in Six Towers. Excuse me. Where you saw a Fillmore Renfro, a young, nervous, soft boy, as G would describe him. A soft, nervous boy who was not sure if he should be there, but upon entering, did find I believe, a family photo of that was stolen from him inside the Opera House. So we'll pick back up with all of you in the Opera House. Satyr, Ish, you would be in the entryway. Where would we find everyone else as these two walk in?
So question, just to remind me, we often meet up, I think, on the stage or behind the stage, but then we also meet up in the dressing room, right? Like the dressing room is the war room, but I think we've also been on the stage. Is that correct?
I think we've only ever seen the war room.
Okay.
I don't think we've actually really ever described the Opera House more than
we
just
did.
Initially.
We opened the first
our
episode
opening
on
was
the
the
stage.
On the stage.
So that was on the stage was the first
in the
one.
main room.
Okay.
I think Wren would be in the dressing room, in the war room.
Where would we find Bo and Hawke?
I think Hawke would be like upstairs in one of the what do you call it? Like those side wings that come out. And I think she's just up there. She's just sharpening her blades. As you do.
As you do.
As one does.
Yeah. Also, she could also just keep an eye on things. Maybe she's doing sentry duty or something like that. Maybe they have that little level of paranoia where they don't want a random person walking in and seeing them working. So she's just kind of keeping an eye on things.
Now, I must ask, and this is mostly a question for John. Would this in its day have been a fancy opera house? Would there be like the box seats? Would there be like the mezzanine up there? Is it like a 2-story situation?
I think so. I think there would be a balcony level, but I wouldn't say that this was like the most opulent opera house in the town.
Okay.
I kind of have it in mind, like I was visiting my daughter in Sacramento, Northern California, and they had like an artistic row where they had all these different theaters and different types. I kind of envision that that's where we're at, and that this is just one of many. So like a smaller opera house, but kind of modest, like nice, but not overly.
Okay. So probably it wouldn't have like a loge, but it might have like a mezzanine.
Yeah, like a second, but not like
loge. Yeah, sure.
I knew it had a name, but there was no way I would have came up.
I'm sorry, is not everyone versed in theater terminology? Do we not know what the loge is?
I've been to our concert hall, and they are called loges, but I had no idea what it was called.
Is that like the Lincoln booths?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. There's the main floor, and then the floor that sort of is like half of a second floor that like comes out over the broker seats. That's called the mezzanine, and then the boxes are called the loge.
Yes, I would say no,
that's where the
but like boxes, like loges. I'm sure.
So that's where the old guys and the Muppets sit, right?
Yes.
Correct. Exactly. See, everyone, just got to find your reference point.
Okay, so I'm not sitting in a loge, but I'm like sitting like right there.
Okay.
You know.
You're just on the edge of the mezzanine, right?
Yeah. And like my boots are up. This is probably like one of the few spots that actually has some chairs still in it, and my boots are on the ledge, and I'm just like shing, shing, shing.
Have you had a decrepit theater behind you this entire time, or did you just put that there as we were discussing?
I just changed it, yeah.
Okay, cool. I was like, there's no way I missed that. I know I'm sick, but there's no way I didn't see that you had the Phantom of the Opera theater opening, the black and white opening act. Fantastic. So that's where we see, now that we know what loges are, that's where we see fucking Christ. That's where we see Hawke. Where do we find Bo?
Bo, I imagine there's still work to be done. In our opening, as we discussed, we were shifting boxes, we were getting not necessarily the stage ready, but like the area in and around the stage, moving things that were either left or whatever. Bo would be around that. He would be continuing his work to get the place cleared or tidied, boxes stacked. So he would be in and around the stage area.
Okay. So I think we would see Satyr and Ish enter, and the first person you see is probably Bo. I think the first person you would see would be Bo. Probably the only person you see outside of Fillmore Renfro, who you have no context for who this young collegiate soft boy is. He's just kind of wandered in with you guys, and then you see him like walk off to one of those like frames that would have like the candle, like the mirrored lamp on it that would showcase like whatever Anita is coming next week. And he would be pulling off a picture, a photograph of a family member. What is Ish and Satyr doing?
So you both said he was kind of cleaning and tidying up. Ish is going to mistake him for the help.
That seems right.
Oh yes, just like the old times. Sir, may you please place my bags somewhere where I will be staying?
Ish, we are a family. We do not have servants like we did in the old town.
Oh, I am so very sorry. Nice to meet you. I am Ish.
Bo, he's still got his hand out, ready to take the bags.
Ish is just gonna grab him with both hands and shake him. No. Sorry, my mistake. You looked like he's yeah. Nice to meet you. Oh,
Bo, she is a friend from my past, and is in need of a place to stay and perhaps some friends to help him through a difficult time.
very difficult. Yes. And this is all you.
Oh.
This is nice. What is
Bo
that?
gives him like a half bow and says, "Any friend of Satyr," and he puts his arms around and gives Ish a hug. Whether he accepts, like, wants to be hugged or not, he's just going to hug him around his arms. Welcome.
Oh, okay. Yes, nice.
Now, for my own information, Chris, we've learned through play that Bo is kind of a big strong boy. Is this hug a genuine hug, or is it like a little too tight?
I think it would be a genuine hug.
Okay.
He would look at a friend of Satyr as someone that can be trusted, someone who's a friend.
Got it. Okay.
No, you're not holding the rabbit too tight.
Yeah.
Fillmore, you came. And she's standing right behind him.
Yes.
And she
there is that moment of like caught in a trap where anyone like you being behind him, Hawke, would see him like immediately like go rigid, and he doesn't turn to see you. He just goes, yes, I
Oh,
I
you
am.
found your picture.
Yes, it seems I misplaced it. It's
Silly
as much a
boy.
statement as it was a question.
Yeah, silly boy. But you found it. And she plucks it out of his hand and looks at it. And then she will fold it up and put it in like his breast pocket of his cloak.
Yes. What? I don't mean to be disrespectful or anger you. Why is this? And why am I here?
Well, we're working towards something that's bigger than ourselves, Fillmore. And I think, and she's standing next to him with both hands on his shoulders, and she's just like giving him like a nice squeeze. It's like, and I think you have some unique talents that you can continue your studies and then also be extremely helpful to us in the long run. And she looks at Satyr. Fillmore here was a student at the something where they study necromancy.
Is this G not remembering?
No, I have at
it's,
the unnatural philosophy hall.
Moreland Hall.
Yes, Moreland Hall, where they study unnatural philosophy, and she does like on his shoulders unnatural philosophy.
I see. Well, necromancy deals with the dead, the empty, the body being empty of the soul, and therefore an empty vessel, which aligns quite nicely with us. Welcome, Fillmore.
Thank you.
She smiles, and then she steps past Fillmore a little bit, and she extends her hand to Ish. I'm Hawke.
Oh, like the bird. Nice. I am Ish.
And she will shake his hand.
Somewhere, well, we know that she's in the war room, but in the war room, I think Wren has been organizing the room a little bit in the same way that Bo has been prepping the stage. And at some point, Sorrow goes into a rigid kind of pointing stance, but has their eyes rotated backwards to look at Wren, for instruction. And she mutters quietly, "Free." And Sorrow runs to take off, and she follows behind. And they arrive at the edge of the stage, and she stays in the shadows for a little bit, watching as Hawke introduces herself to Ish. And then shortly breaks out of the shadow and approaches. And as she does, Sorrow, and I don't think, Kendall, that you've been introduced to Sorrow, but Sorrow looks something like a greyhound, but is not quite there. And as Sorrow moves, kind of stretches in odd and unusual ways that you would not expect an animal to stretch, but it's so clearly uncanny in some regard. But Sorrow circles around Ish, and Wren, who's a kind of a slight figure, follows behind, shadowy figure, very kind of dark. And she approaches first with her hand out. So Ish would think that she's also introducing herself, but at the last moment reaches up and plucks a hair from Ish's head, and then scatters backwards quickly. And Sorrow is still there, kind of thumping their tail in greeting, much more friendly than Wren. But as Wren has scattered backwards, she has lit a match and is burning the hair from Ish's head, and kind of wafting the smoke at herself, and then releases it and blows out the match. And then that being done, glances over at Bo and kind of nods her head.
I have two things. When you said the dog entered like a pointer, and then his eyes rolled back, do you mean it turned its head to look at you, or literally its eyes rolled back in its head to look at you?
Oh shit, that would be cool too, right?
That's
it
fucking
do
gnarly.
that.
That's what was in my head.
Yeah, hell yeah.
That's
what
how
was
I
good.
interpreted that, and I went, ugh,
Yeah.
ugh, gross,
I love
fucking
it.
gross.
I love it.
Okay,
As I've said before, that sometimes if you look at Sorrow, you can kind of see through various layers.
Yeah. And then the second point was specifically for Kendall. When Melissa says the dog's not all there, she doesn't mean it in a southern way. She means physically not all there.
Oh, I thought it was a special dog.
In my heart, I was like, he thinks it's that dog's a little not there. No, physically, yeah. Physically not there.
Incorporeal.
Okay, I was mean like not all his flesh or not all his everything.
Not all of everything.
I saw just a subtle eyebrow raise, and I went, he thinks that dog is it's not there.
Oh, it took everything in me not to unmute and go big stretch.
Can I pet that dog?
Oh man.
Ish is gonna lean over to Satyr, and that was
Wren, this is Ish. Ish, this is Wren, one of our many associates and friends of the Harbingers.
Wren, like the
Ish
bird.
is a friend of the family from back in Noruvia when we were much younger. So
How
he
much?
is looking for a place to be welcome and perhaps help him with some troubles that he's in at the moment.
You must regale us with stories of Satyr when he was a young pup.
Oh, he looked much like he looks now, but younger and smaller.
Was never that small.
I'm sure you guys got up to lots of trouble. And she gives them a devilish grin.
Lots of trouble we had in Noruvia.
Yes, lots.
So, Ish, you say you needed a place to stay.
Yes. I found myself in predicament, I believe, or just I've got things going on, and I just need a place to, how do they say, lay low from the fuzz.
Well,
Oh,
I'm
pats him on the
Speaking
back.
of fuzz, Hawke, what are you? Not to put a spotlight on you, but what are you wearing?
I think she's wearing her fuzz outfit, but her uniform, but she's not wearing her jacket. So, yeah.
You would notice, Ish, that as you're like seeing the whole picture, and as you say, like hide from the fuzz, you see that minus the actual like outer blue coat, like the long coat. Hawke is fully in a cop outfit.
Yeah, no, that's why he said fuzz.
Oh, this is just a day job, Ish. You have nothing to worry about me.
Yes, well, they are actually second on the list. The first would be the crows. He does a little flapping motion. Yes. So
We are not particularly close to the crows either, so
No.
you are good.
oh no, their base is on the other side of town. That's why I'm here.
Well, let me take you to a room where you can stay, and put your things down, and get settled.
He's gonna ask, "Will I have a roommate? Phil, perhaps?"
Sure. What do you
Goodbye.
think about that, Phil?
Oh,
Right.
Do I stay here now?
Are you still permitted to stay in your dorm room?
No, but my family has a home.
Oh. Is it a nice home? It must be much nicer than this.
I don't know how to answer that.
Well, a yes or no will suffice.
Okay.
She pats him on the back.
He winces.
You can stay in your home unless you want to get away from your family for whatever reason.
Should I? What?
Well, as long as your time here is kept on what we say on the force, the DL. A secret.
Oh, okay.
Can you do that, Fillmore?
I know I walked here. I'm not being kidnapped.
Absolutely not.
Okay. And
That takes way too much effort to kidnap people. Fillmore?
okay, that's not how you answer that question. Are you a stage production? A troupe? Acting?
Yes.
Acting? No. Production? Absolutely.
Okay. And I can go.
The whole world's a stage, Fillmore. And we're all playing our parts. You now have a very important part to play.
And that is
On this
Well, you have what our grand deity has, a vessel, just like all of us here.
Oh.
Wren whispers a prayer after Hawke says that.
Oh. And I can go.
Yes.
Okay. And he kind of shifts to the side and just slumps into one of the mostly functional seats.
And we kept some of those spirit bottles that we came across.
Mhm.
She's going to pull one out. I don't know how big they are. I just assume they're like vials, but
they're like a monster can size.
okay. She pulls one out and she holds it up to him. It's like, do you know what this is? And she will hand it to him.
He looks it over and says, "It appears to be an elaborate spirit bottle."
Mm-hmm. Do you think you could do something with this?
I mean, yeah, yes. I mean, and you could throw it and release the spirit. That would be doing something. I don't know what you mean.
Well, it's empty right now.
Oh, well, then I could fill it with water, algae. What do you need done with it? I can do whatever. I can do a lot of things. That was a very vague question. I'm sorry. Am I being obtuse? I don't. Yes, I can do something with it. And you see that like he is looking around at like Satyr, at Ish, Bo if he's still around. Like his eyes are screaming, "Someone please help me."
What?
Bo
Satyr
has
ain't
walked through, and he is sat in the front row of the seats. And at that point, he's pulled out his axe and he's sharpening the edge, just rarely, slowly, as Hawke sits there chatting to this poor kid. But he's sitting in the front row staring at him, and every now and then his eyes
Love
flick
this.
to Wren to see how she reacts, and then back to the kid, and he just sits there slowly.
Great, Bo. You see him look at you one time and then never again. Like his eyes go from person to person, and he stops on you, and you see his eyes look down and then look back up, and he never looks back at you. And so he's kind of bouncing back and forth between mostly Satyr and Ish because Red has sort of moved aside, and the ghost dog is clearly not going to help him. And from Satyr to Ish, his eyes are just screaming, "Someone tell me what to say.
No,
How do I stop this?"
He's like, "Can I pet that dog?" And the dog's
Pet
eyes
that
go
dog?
bloop in its skull. And he's like, "Ah!"
The dog goes to turn around, except it turns around into itself and just sort of walks. Oh no!
Okay.
Terrifying.
I do want to focus on something that he said. Like he said, he could release the spirit that's in there, and then she says that it's empty. But she's gonna look at it because she doesn't know anything about spirit bottles. Does it look empty, or is there actually something inside these bottles?
Now you're asking me to remember a game from 5 months ago since we haven't played so long.
I
Hold on
know.
1 second.
I thought they were empty bottles.
No, I thought that they were full.
No, they're full.
They're full.
Yeah.
Oh, I
But
did.
I don't know if we can tell. I mean, do they look like empty bottles?
Yeah,
And-
I did not clock that at all. I thought they were I personally thought they were empty bottles.
I thought they were
no,
empty, ready to capture something.
Yeah, that's what I
No. They were full bottles being brought to the church to be sanctified and like destroyed.
so there are spirits in them.
Oh yeah. I thought that's why you kept them. I thought that's why Bo built the spirit Pokemon box.
No, I totally thought they were empty.
You
Okay.
thought you heisted a bunch of mason jars.
Yeah, but I thought they were magical items ready to capture
Oh.
ghosts. That's what I was thinking.
I
She
think they're
thought
like
they took
power.
a shipment of Pokeballs, but no,
Okay.
they were full. You team rocketed those ghosts.
Yeah. Oh, these Pokeballs got Pokemon in them. Holy shit.
Oh shit!
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So she doesn't say the whole part about it being empty.
So Satyr will just kind of sigh and then say, Fillmore, we ask you these questions because you have come to us. You have been inspired to come here because clearly your soul is empty and needs to be filled. but
That's
we
clear.
do not know exactly how it needs to be filled and what your purpose is. So we're asking you questions so we know how you made this fit in. So do not be scared or nervous. We are just trying to find your proper place. Does that make sense to you? We are here to guide, but we do not have all the answers.
Sir, could I speak to you candidly?
We are speaking.
He stands up and steps towards you and like gets very close to you, and he says, "The one who's a blue coat terrified. She accosted me in the streets, and I don't fully know how I found this place or why I'm here, and I feel like I was threatened to come here, and now that I'm here, I don't know if it's am I safe?
Absolutely.
Okay, and you
Well,
just want to help.
you are safe from us. Are you safe from the outside world that would frighten and take all that they have from you? Of
He,
course
like-
not. Which is
He like
why
leans to the side and looks at Hawke as you say frighten and take things from you, and then he comes back to like center.
Okay, maybe I went a little too hard. Okay.
So what do you need
Friend-
from me?
friend Hawke can be a bit enthusiastic in her means, but there was something she saw in you that called out that you needed our help and our guidance and our support. So look past the means and look at the end. And you yourself came here of your own free choice. Because clearly your soul needs this.
He again leans over and looks to Hawke for a second and then leans back. When you say you came here of your own free will, he goes,
If I say it enough times.
yeah.
Are they
Like a cult,
talking
if you
loud
say it
enough?
over and over again, eventually someone believes you.
Are they talking loud enough for us to hear him?
I would say Fillmore is intentionally not,
Oh.
but you have seen him like peek out and kind of look at you and then quickly peek back in. If Satyr is speaking loud enough, that's up to John.
She will add, like, I don't, because judging by what Satyr, she might be able to hear of Satyr's words. She will say, I did not give you the location of this opera house.
See? Divine intervention. You were guided.
The empty vessel is always listening. And the emptiest vessel makes the loudest sound.
Well done working that in. He nods to you, Satyr, and he says, "Okay, I guess if I can be of help, I will." Which sounds like a question. And then he sort of steps back, and you see him start to slump back into his chair, and has a face I feel like Satyr would sort of know well, where he's contemplating his life choices and what led him here. As he sort of slumps in, and you see him just put a hand to his head, and he shakes his head, and then he like rubs his eyes, and accidentally catches Bo again, and quickly turns back to Satyr.
Friend Fillmore, let your soul be lightened. Relax. You are free to come and go as you please. We are just here to guide and help. And so when you are ready, you let us know.
Okay, I think I just need a minute. If
Take
that's
what you
okay.
need. The empty vessel is patient.
You see him sort of like lean forward in the seats and just like put his head in his hands, as the realization that he may have just joined a cult is slowly washing over him, leaving the rest of you to discuss whatever happens next for you.
Well,
Um,
and as he puts his hands in his face and looks down, Satyr will just look at Hawke and be like,
And she's just like, "Mm." And she will pat him like not creepily. She will pat him on the shoulder, and then she will walk past to like leave him alone.
Okay.
And she'll close the distance on Satyr's like, I wasn't joking. I didn't tell him the location for the opera house, and yet here he is. And
you threatened him?
absolutely not. Why would I waste time threatening him?
Inside check. No, I'm just kidding.
It's the same thing. Like, why would I waste time kidnapping somebody?
I think Satyr is as like silver tongue as he's like the biggest silver tongue of the group, and like while Hawke definitely means she did not say like do this or I'm gonna hurt you, right? Like you've spoken to Hawke enough to go, okay.
I just
A lot of the non-plus things you say sound threatening.
It was implied.
Yeah, all I told him was that I'd be watching him. I guess you can that could be construed as threatening, but
I'll be watching you, Wazowski.
Yeah. You know, when you casually tell somebody the fact that, like, you know, house fires happen every day, not inherently a threat, but man, does that sound like you might burn my house down a little bit.
Well, we do want to grow the flock. So in that,
I
but we
honestly
can
believe,
talk about your banner.
I honestly believe the empty vessel pointed him out to me, and he has a unique area of study. I'm sure we could find some use for him. No? At Morden's Hall, they do study necromancy and spirits. He knew what the spirit glass was.
Growing the flock with different knowledge and skills.
Yeah, they study necromancy, the cataclysm. It's called unnatural philosophy. What do you think the empty vessel is?
I do not question the end, which is well done. So,
Mike, as everybody walks away from Fillmore, Wren is going to seat herself next to him and put her hand on his back, gently. And if he looks up at her, she will kind of smile reassuringly, but of course it's Wren, so it's kind of like a tight-lipped smile that's probably not actually very reassuring. And then she'll do a little like sleight of hand and offer him a kind of small bruised apple.
Yeah, he definitely, like, the moment you put your arm like kind of on his back or like around him, he definitely like shudders for a second. And you see him like take his hand out of his head, or his head out of his hands rather, and like turn to you. Having not really, like, you sort of came up and were weird at a stranger and then disappeared. So he didn't really have any interaction point with you. You pull someone's hair out and light it on fire and wander away. So he like looks to you, and he just like very slowly reaches out and takes the apple. And then there's a second where like you can see, because you're very like a hunter, so very attentive, right? You see his eyes are like tracing every inch of the apple in a way that like he's studying the apple to make sure this isn't like some sort of poison, without trying to make it look like he's examining the apple. So you don't think that he's like, oh my god, this person's trying to poison me. But he is for sure like looking up and down at this apple as he brings it over, and just sort of mutters, "Thank you." And then he slowly tries to take a bite of the apple.
So as he is distracted with that, she has pulled a hair out of the back of his head from where her hand has been seated, on his back. And she then gently pats him on the arm and tries to smile comfortingly at him again. And then
I think he just follows you as you disappear. And there's just like a look of like bewilderment of the predicament He, a normal college student, is now in the weirdest place he's ever been in his life, amongst the weirdest people he's ever been around. And he studied necromancy, as G puts it.
Does Wren light the hair as she walks away?
Oh, she hasn't
Or does
lit
she
it
just
yet.
disappear?
Yeah, she's gonna. Yeah, I guess she'll light it as she's walking away from him, but her back is to him. So
Bo keeps sitting there, and he, like, every now and then, just watches back to Wren as she walks away to see if she reacts to anything.
as she blows out the match, she'll glance over at Bo, and if Bo's looking at her, she'll just kind of shrug.
If I'm assuming he's still not looking at Bo, Bo just nods slightly, that Wren would see. He like clankily puts his axe back into its holster, hits his hands onto the side of the chair, steps up and goes, "Work to be done," and just turns and walks off.
Anyone who's looking at Fillmore sees a hesitation, and he like puts like the wrist of the apple and the other hand on the chair, and kind of looks like he's about to get up, and he's not sure if that was a command that there is work to be done and that he should be joining you. And no one, as he like looks around, if no one says anything, he just slinks back into the chair and just slowly eats the apple.
Well, Ish, come with me. Let me show you to where you can stay. So,
Okay. So the whole reason that Ish asked if he was going to have a roommate in Phil is because he was going to make Phil carry his bags. That's what started this whole thing. I just wanted to use this guy as a butler.
Satyr does not offer to help you carry your
Oh
bags.
no, he wouldn't ask. He wouldn't ask.
So anyway, so Satyr will walk you kind of up a set of stairs and then into one of these small rooms that we've been using to stay. So Ish, tell me of your challenges with the crows. So, outside the game. The second mission that we had on the table, that was with the crows, right?
It was in
Kidnapping or
Crow's
something?
foot.
Crows. Oh, it was in the area. Got it. Okay.
Yeah, it wasn't directly against the crows, but the
Okay.
crows do currently control Crow's foot.
Got it.
Can you remind us what that is, Mike? Because my notes were not clear. I think there's like some sort of item there that Annika, sorry, how do we pronounce his name? Attikin is interested in. Is that a vessel?
Let me see here. The vessel hungers. Attikin traced a fragment of the empty vessel's essence to an abandoned boarding house in Crow's Foot. He believes that a relic hidden there is slowly draining the dreams of those who sleep nearby, turning them into husks.
Right. Empty vessel. We don't use the H word.
Fragment of the empty vessel's essence.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
So
it could be the crows, or it could be one of the other groups there, the red sashes and the lamp blacks. Is that right?
Or it could be nothing. I mean, it could just be like some random nobody discovered a pile of trash, and in the trash was a discarded fragment of a relic, and that relic is active and began sucking the dreams out of people's heads. Who knows?
And creating husks, right?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yep.
And do we know the name of this boarding house?
You don't. He didn't. He, I believe. I have to remember now. I don't think he gave you clear details of this because he was sort of in and out of coherentness. So where it is, and that there's a boarding house, you'd have to kind of investigate where the boarding house is, who it might be under the control of, if anyone at all.
So that's in the Rookery? Is that
It's in Crow's Foot. The Rookery is a building inside Crow's Foot. Here, let me see. The Crow's Foot is the whole district. I'll put a square around it.
What time of day do we have going on right now?
Nighttime all the time.
Nighttime all the time. That's right. Okay. I think Wren is going to head out to the Crow's Foot.
I just put a big square on the map. That's Crow's Foot.
Yeah. Cool.
So Wren's just disappearing off to Crow's Foot?
Yep.
Okay. Are you attempting to engage in some sort of gather information check here? Or are you just sort of milling about Crow's Foot?
She's going to head out to Crow's Foot, and the pathway that she'll pick there is clearly over the rooftops. Once she gets there, I think, given that we don't know anything, I think all she's going to do is listen to people talking. And the idea is to listen to people as they're talking on the streets, or maybe listen into like windows that are like inns or places that people gather. Trying to collect like any information or intelligence that or clues that would indicate like anybody knows anything about this, like people complaining about their dreams or anything like that.
Okay. Okay, I like that. Go ahead and what kind of check, what kind of skill do you think this would apply to this role?
So it could be survey, because that would be trying to understand what's going on, but this might be more like a hunt, right? Because it's hunting for information, like the initial analysis of a space, trying to identify where the target is. So it feels kind of hunt to me. What do you think?
Okay, I'll buy that. So go ahead and roll me a fortune roll with the same number of pips you have in hunt. A 4 and a 3. A 4 is a mixed success. So you find some information, but it is either a little bit not reliable or it is a little bit incomplete in some capacity. So I'll say you sort of wander around, right? You meander through the streets of Crow's Foot. You pass by the cross streets of Flint and Great Cinder, which is the corners, the crossways at the Red Sash Academy, which is the Arubian Sword School, which is the headquarters of the Red Sashes. You don't hear any Red Sashes talking about that. You sort of continue your way down Great Cinder toward Little Cinder, passing by the old Blue Coat precinct building. You don't really hear any of the Blue Coats talking about this at all. You kind of make your way down from Little Cinder to Rye, passing by an old warehouse run by the Lampblacks. You don't hear anything from the Lampblacks. And as you sort of cut back around towards like the dead center of the district, towards the Rookery, a large tavern on Homunculus Way, you don't hear any of the chatter about this coming from the Crows, anyone in that vicinity. But as you make your way, kind of crisscrossing back and forth through this area, you do see that a street is cordoned off in the neighborhood of Fog Hollow in Crow's Foot. You see that an entire road is cordoned off, and you see that there is evidence of like a blue coat investigation had been here. Like you see that there's like the way a police would like tape off. There's like a rope kind of crossing off the street so that traffic can't pass through here. You see that like everything has been preserved in a way that seems like either something died here or like something happened here. And you see that like there is shattered glass on the ground. And you can look up, and one of the buildings on its like third story has a broken window over there. And so the police were clearly investigating something happening here in Fog Hollow. But no one's really talking about it. Either it's being kept quiet intentionally, or maybe no one's caught wind of it yet.
Can she survey the area to see if she can learn a little bit more about what's happened here?
Technically, no. But yeah, I don't see why not. Go ahead and roll me a fortune roll with the points you have in survey. Four.
Or 3.
So here's what I'll say. You can get up to the window.
Mhm.
Or down to the window if you're still on the rooftops, right? But if you do, it will be known. Someone will see you trespass, so you don't have to make this roll. You don't have to make this action. This is just the consequence of your action. Is that somebody in the district will see a person matching your description approaching this cordoned off area here. If you want to, you can. That's just the consequence.
From this place, she can see that if she dropped down to see the window, there's a lot of other people on the street that would be able to see her, right?
There's people on like both sides of like the cordoned street, and you see that there are like, just because the street's cordoned off doesn't mean the buildings are, and you see there's like a bunch of like windows of like that like lead directly into like what would be like tenement housing. So like somebody may see you through a window. If you like drop down, there's a chance that you'll be seen.
Can she see down to the road?
Yeah, you can see straight down. You see broken glass.
And but you said somebody might have died or something. Is there blood or something down there?
You see that like the glass had enough force to like leave the window and hit the ground in a way that it's like it didn't just like fall and tinkle out down the side of a building. So it seems as though your best guess from here is that either someone jumped out, was pushed out, but something forcibly came out of that window through the window itself. There is no from the fourth story, which would be the roof, down. It's hard to see if there's actually blood on the ground, but you do see that there were like those like kind of like those evidence cards that you'd see in like a CSI with like a little number on them, like as police were like marking things to note where their evidence was. You see a couple of those left on the ground, but you can't see blood from where you are.
So she came out here looking specifically for something that, their contact had indicated was important to him. That is Adigan. And then, she came across this scene. Is there any reason that she would believe this could be connected in some way, and it's not just standard kind of crime that's going to be occurring everywhere across the city?
The only thing that you can how familiar is Wren with Six Towers? I mean, sorry, with Crow's Foot.
I believe both Bo and Wren are fairly new to town, so I don't think very familiar.
So you can't be sure. However, it appears as though Fog Hollow is a neighborhood of like tenement slash boarding houses. And that's the only connection you have is that Attican said something was happening at a boarding house near Crow's Foot. And this seems like a neighborhood, a block of boarding houses. That's the only correlation you have.
All right. So what Wren's going to do is head back, and she's going to go into the war room, and she's going to put the dog figure on the street, Fog Hollow Street, and a piece of yarn underneath the dog figure connected out to a piece of paper and that's laying down on top of the map. Do you follow what I'm saying? And then drawn on that piece of paper is like a sketch of what happened on the street, what she saw.
Got it. I have reduced the size of the blue box to be just Fog Hollow on the map. Just so cool. So you have left a note essentially of the figurine that represents Wren, and a little note of what happened here in this area. While Wren is gone, which would take a bit of time, especially if walking, Wren would have had to pass through a district and a half to get there. So probably like an hour or more round trip walking around the entire district. What is everyone else doing? And does anyone notice Wren's absence? Or actually, Wren, would anyone notice her absence? Did you like disappear quietly and no one saw you leave?
Yeah, no, she wouldn't have checked with anyone, but she wouldn't. Before she left, she would have put her figure smack dab in the middle of Crow's Foot.
Got it. Okay. And just so I know, do you keep all of the figures just like nearby the map?
Yeah, they're all near the map. Yeah.
Okay.
Or if people put them somewhere, there's someplace on the map that's very specific, right? So.
I imagine this is like the Weasley's clock where it says like where the people are in the thing, and I imagine that like Wren devised this plan but just didn't tell anyone, and that there are just a bunch of carvings, and everyone just like Wren moves them every once in a while, but didn't indicate, hey guys, when you leave, put your token on a place that you're going to.
I think in the last time they were in the war room, she was moving them around as people were talking, right? And right now, everyone's figures would be like in the opera house.
Got it. Okay. So those intuitive enough would understand Wren's intention for the tokens, whether you use them or not. I'll say, except Ish. I think you just see a bunch of neat little chess pieces that look like a dog, a bird, So what is everyone else doing in Wren's absence in the opera house?
So I think Satyr gets Ish kind of settled and then gives him a tour of the opera house and shows the war room. You can see the figurines. And then in the context of that, he will say, how much knowledge do you have of Crow's Foot? Our next business would be there, and you could be helpful if you have knowledge of that area. Having trouble with the crows, perhaps you are familiar.
On a scale of 1 to 10, I would say about 6.57. Yes, 6.7.
Okay. You could be helpful. And that was incredibly specific.
Mm-hmm.
Great. Well, your
each one of these little figures, so these are you guys?
it's each of us, so we might know where we are at, and if one of us fails to return, then we know where to look.
Will I get a figure? I would like a figure. They are
What
nice.
would you like your figure to be?
For the time being, he's gonna look around and he's just gonna find a rock. I will be this.
Would you like something else at some point?
Oh yes. I mean, when someone gets around to it, I don't, I don't presume to make my own figure. I assume, but for now, I would just be the rock.
Wren has carved these with her own hand.
Who said that?
That's her hand.
She's standing right behind you.
Like,
He's
clawing.
right behind you.
Oh yeah, see, I don't presume to make my own figure. I feel, the woman who burns and smells hair is definitely the most qualified to make figurines.
Maybe she has learned some interesting insight upon the burning.
Yes, it could not have smelled nice. I have not showered in ages.
We can help you there too. But yes, we will need to start collecting more information. And seeing that Wren is headed out to Crowsfoot, perhaps she has already started without us.
Well, she would. You don't say where you are going. You don't let everybody know. You just go and leave a note.
Sometimes.
Equally effective,
Is that why her little character here is on the thing over here?
I presume so. If not, and she runs into trouble, then she's in bigger trouble. Because we do not know where to look.
Yes, but Wren is quite capable. She points to the figure. This would be her indicating to us where she has gone. How long she will be gone, we cannot say. This is just the excitement of waiting to find out, is it not, Satyr?
Never a dull moment here.
Mhm.
So I think the rest of us will be starting to trying to find out more information about a object of particular interest to us with the silver or with the empty vessel, and your skill at contacts and learning information could be very valuable. And in return, as you feel comfortable sharing trouble with the crows, you can share with us. Perhaps we can help you there.
Yes.
Yes, if your knowledge of the crow's foot is 6-7, what would be the level of the trouble you are in?
9-10.
Okay.
So perhaps you won't get very close to crow's foot right now, but
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
Other-
I feel if I had the right disguise, I feel like I could move freely.
Is Bo there? Okay. Bo has been
as an opera
extensively.
house,
Yes.
as an opera house, we have many costumes, so you can disguise yourself however you like, even as a blue coat.
Yes.
Ew. I mean,
She grins.
He just smiles.
Even last week, I guess. Last week we were we impersonated what was it? Guards of
Ecstasy of the Flesh?
the ecstasy of the flesh.
Actually, quite successfully.
Mhm.
Hence all the spirit balls. They don't
Oh,
come
well.
cheap.
Mhm. I'm sure there's
and
lots of
then
things that fit you.
makeover montage.
Yes.
Awesome.
It's the montage from Mrs. Doubtfire.
Yeah, that's exactly what the one I was thinking of. We're gonna make you beautiful.
We gotta make you beautiful.
Oh,
So how does Ish look? What are the changes to Ish through this montage?
Yes.
Larger nose, fatter jowls.
Doubtfire hair.
Yeah, yeah. Fake breasts. Old lady hair. No.
You're describing Jabba the Hutt.
Yeah. Very controllable.
Hot.
Baron Bar.
Yeah,
Or Conan.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Because he's a skinny little guy. So bigger nose, fatter, and maybe an eye patch. You know, everybody loves an eye patch.
Nice.
So he wants to via the beggar from the animated Robin Hood, but fat. Nobody wants to look at a beggar.
And are you adopting this guys because you're possibly wanted by the crows, or are you adopting this guys to affect some sort of change here?
It's to hide from the crows.
Okay, just checking. So I would say during the montage is actually, you know what? Since I feel like Satyr has to be there, who else participates in the montage? Does Hawke or Bo? Hawke does. Does Bo participate in the montage? That feels right. That feels right. So I will say during the montage is when Wren comes back, writes a little note. But during all that time, where is Bo?
I think Bo's doing exactly what he said he was going to do. He continues with his work. I forgot the kid's name. Soft boy, I'm assuming Renfro. He's still, I'm assuming, sitting there, and every now and then he hears a box just clonk onto the stage behind him, and Bo wanders off again, comes back, and after a few of these attempts, he walks up and sits next to Renfro, pulls out a flask of water and says, "Are you just gonna keep sitting there, or are you gonna go and find a room?"
Oh, I don't know.
Do you want help?
I think so. I'll be honest, you're somehow one of the scariest, but also the most normal people to talk to me here. I met the blue coat lady, and she was menacing and kind of mean and scary and stole things from me. And then I found this place. She's not wrong. And I am here now, which is weird. And then the guy, the Peruvian guy, I think he was trying to sell me something. And then that strange lady gave me a rotten apple that was, or not a rotten apple, it was a bruised apple. And I don't know what to do here. I can go home. My parents have I have a room. I can go home. I think I can go home. And you guys keep saying I can go home, but you guys keep saying it in a way that's like you can go home, and I don't know if I can go home.
You can go home?
Okay, that was the most
You
normal way to say that.
You
want
will
help
never
with
make
the
you
boxes?
stay. If you want to leave, you can leave. Do you want to?
I don't feel like I can. Mostly
But you
because the
can.
blue coat lady.
I mean, I can walk you to the door. I can walk
No,
you home.
I can get there, but I feel like she'll find me. Do you need help with the boxes?
If
I can help with boxes.
you can, and she will find you if she wants to, but
See, that's not
that's what blue coats do.
okay.
They find criminals.
Well, I am a student. I was a student.
And now you're a criminal.
Why?
I don't know.
I
You
don't-
did something and you made a blue coat mad.
No, I
That's normally a
didn't, though.
criminal.
I was just standing on the side of the street and she just came up to me. I haven't done any crimes.
Maybe not yet. Maybe she saw something in you that you were going to, and she saved you before you committed crime.
Okay, now you're starting to sound like everyone else. I can help with the boxes.
If you want to go home, I can take you home. If you want to stay and help, there's always work to be done.
I think I'll stay and help. Boxes? And he points to the pile you were moving boxes from to the pile you were moving boxes to. Okay.
Yes, and when we're done, we can have algae. It'd be great.
Oh, yeah. Can I put this somewhere? And it's like a third of an apple.
Yes. Not in here. You can throw it out the door if you want.
Okay. Is that a crime?
Probably. I'm not a
Yeah,
policeman.
You see he like pats himself and then like stretches his waistcoat pocket and just sort of jams a third of an apple in his waistcoat. And then he heads over to the pile of boxes and starts helping you with mostly the smaller ones. He has the body of an astute person and he's not there on a sports scholarship for sure. But he begins helping you.
Bo starts moving quicker than he was before, just to make him move boxes quicker. In the hope that he tries to keep up, to tire him out.
There is a level of like he starts moving a box and then sees you like already headed back to the pile, and he kind of realizes that like, okay, I'm not exactly pulling my weight, and so he moves quicker, still only grabbing the smallest boxes he can, but he does move faster in transit back and forth. Fucking perfect. So montage is happening. Bo has a heart-to-heart with this college kid. Wren reappears, puts the dog with the note. Everyone is back in the opera house. Do you all reconvene and see Ish's new outfit? And if so, where do you reconvene?
Well, I just want to stop for a second and say during the montage, in my mind, Ish keeps coming out with different outfits.
Mm-hmm.
And Hawke and Satyr just keep doing this.
And at one point,
and comes out with something different.
At one point, someone has a large box with a necklace on it, and they snap his finger in it.
Yeah.
So I want to know, what was the outfit that Hawke and Satyr don't object to at the end here, Ish?
You tell me.
Hey, I don't want to take away, your agency here.
It's literally going to be almost like a garbage bag. It's a dirty cowl held together with some strings and zip ties.
The bird lady from Home Alone 2.
Home Alone, yeah, exactly.
with a stage bird, with like a stage pigeon.
Yeah.
Well, Ish, not my style, but if it makes you happy, feel free.
They will never notice.
I can see how it just lights up with your eyes that you really feel this one.
Yes.
Oh, hello, Wren.
He puts on sunglasses in the dark.
Yeah, so when Wren comes in, he is wearing this garbage bag tied together with two laces kind of concept, but he's got the eye patch and the jowls and the big nose. Is that what we're talking about?
Yeah.
Pretty much exactly like the lady from.
All right. Okay. Awesome. Yeah, she goes about like she nods in response to Satyr's greeting, and goes about setting up the note and all of that. And as she does, Sorrow, she goes about her business, but Sorrow comes in and greets everyone. He circles around each one in turn, nudges Hawke's hand with his nose and kind of rubs up against Satyr a little bit, and then kind of like jumps up on Ish and licks his face a little bit, and jumps down.
You made a friend.
What's the dog's name again?
Sorrow.
Sorrow. That was just a general question.
Wren, what did you discover? I presume you were in Crow's Foot looking for leads around the relic.
She shrugs and taps the table and says, in a quiet voice, not much.
What does this say here? Fog Hollow? There was something there.
Sorry, what it was it Crow's Hollow, Mike?
It was Fog Hollow.
Fog Hollow. She nods to Hawke.
A cordoned off area. Perhaps we can go talk to Attican and get some further information.
Ish, do you know anything about this Fog Hollow?
It is very foggy. There may be some people there that I can contact and, ask some questions. So the thing is he's gonna wear this disguise, but every person he talks to is gonna be like, "It's me, Ish."
Sounds right. Shh, don't tell the crows. Now remind me, Ish, do you normally operate out of Crow's Foot, or are you sort of a around the city kind of guy?
I'm worldwide, baby.
Okay. Do you you know what? Here's what I'll say. Go ahead and roll me contact. Right, that's one of the things. Consort. That's the word I meant to say. Go ahead and roll me a fortune die with one in the on the right hand side of your character sheet. It should say fortune die or fortune roll fortune like that. Click that button and then select 1 for how many dice you have.
Ish's first roll. Good luck, man.
Yeah. A 4. Okay, cool. You have a contact in Crow's Foot. You have one. You have one contact in Crow's Foot. They're not the best. And I will let you choose. Because you are a fence and you are prone to crime, the contact you have must be associated with one of the primary gangs in Crow's Foot. That being the Crows. I don't advise that one. The Lamp Blacks and the Red Sashes.
We'll go with the Red Sashes.
Okay, great choice. They are an Eruvian. They started as an Eruvian sword school, and now they do crime, and also still have a sword school. So as an Eruvian, that kind of makes sense. They also don't like the Lamp Blacks or the Crows and want to kill them all and take over, or at least kill enough of them to take over. So, not a bad call. So you could speak to your contact in the Red Sash Sword Academy, or you could just sort of canvass Crow's Foot and talk to random people.
I'm gonna go straight to the Sash Man.
Okay. Fantastic. Are you going alone?
I'm gonna take Satyr. Since he's also Neruvian.
Okay.
Okay. Let's see.
Let me rephrase that. I would like to take Satyr. Would you like to come with me, John?
Satyr, since I do not know the area, I will come with you to learn.
Perfect. Satyr, would you know anybody in the Eruvian Sword Academy, do you think?
I wouldn't know anybody other than somebody may have introduced me, right? So, given that area, if there would be someone from that area that was like associated with my contact Isha, who is on the noble side, then
Hmm.
I might have made somebody secondhand. But if not, no.
Okay, different question for you then.
Okay.
Do you throw around the name, your actual name?
No.
Okay, cool. Then I will say you don't know anybody. Your name carries enough weight that you could probably toss it around, but like it would be attached to you personally.
Well, and I'm technically banished, so I'm not advertising. I'm banished from Arubia. So
Well, so yeah, we see Ish, do you have a new name for your affected new look?
Peter.
uh,
Ish.
uh,
You don't have to. You don't have to.
we'll just call her Granny.
Granny. Okay, perfect. So, so Granny and Satyr head oh god head out of Six Towers through Charter Hall and into Crow's Foot, crossing the Cinder Bridge, headed towards the Red Sash Academy. You guys make your way, and you kind of like, despite the makeup you have on that you've affected Ish, you still have the tint of Aruvia on you, and you make your way up to the Sword Academy, to which you see large banners that are in red, bearing like Aruvian symbology and like house names as the sponsors of the academy. And as you walk in, Ish, were you just you were a friend of Adonis back in Aruvia? Were you of a noble house too, or were you like the urchin, the Aladdin to his Jasmine? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
I think our family. I think what we had talked about was that our families knew each other.
Sure.
My father, being spy guy, was using Ish's family as like underworld contacts,
That makes sense.
and that's how we knew each other.
That makes sense.
Is
Satyr,
that what you think, Kendall? Yeah. Okay.
Satyr, the sights and sounds and scents that assail you as you walk in here are familiar. Anyone of any sort of worth or nobility or wealth in Aruvia would have either had a private instruction similar to this, or a group instruction, depending on your level of wealth, right? And so you smell there's like that copper tinge in the air of blood. There's that like heavy, humid smell of sweat, and you hear the sound of like wind, the sound of blades, and the sound of like that wet smack of a fist into flesh, as you enter into this massive like copper double door, a bronze double door, into this schoolhouse. And the schoolhouse is largely a training area where there are dummies, there are people training with wooden swords, there are people training with actual swords, and you see people like fighting very somewhere between Crouching Tiger and the movie RRR. Very those two things combined, as they're like leaping through the air with like a red sash attached to their sword as they sort of spiral through, slashing at somebody. You see this, and you watch as there are several people on catwalks moving back and forth, shouting things in Aruvian down to the people, and there are several people walking around, these all being instructors. You see one of the people dressed as instructors, to which they have like girded loins, a red sash around their waist, a open vest in here, and you see they have a ponytail that connects from like the top knot area down to like the small of their back, and the whole rest of their head is shaved. As they walk towards you, they approach for a second, stop and look at the grandmother, and then look to you, Adonis, and they bow and greet you. They say, Yes, sir. To what do we owe the pleasure of you being here?
Well, we come to talk to the Red Sashes. We thought,
Yes, the Red Sash Sword Academy. Yes.
yes.
Did you give me a name for the guy?
I did not. You can make up one.
Okay.
Make up whatever you like.
And on the way there, what did you tell Satyr about the contact? So I know what
His name is Abdullah Sharif. And Ish is gonna pipe up, and or Granny's gonna pipe up. I'm looking for Dooley. My grandson Dooley.
I am sorry, miss. Your grandson, Dooley.
Abdullah Sharif. Dooley.
Yes. Of course. Of course. Please stay here. I do apologize, and he apologizes to you, Adonis. He seems to have thought you were in charge here, but clearly the grandmother is in charge. He says, I do apologize. If
No
you
need.
Is there a room where I can sit?
Yes, I am sorry, ma'am. This way, please. This way. And he leads you around the training ground. And you see that like there's a section that he leads you past where there's like an open like glass roof. Obviously, like no sunlight comes through because it's perpetual night. But you see it cascade down to the black sand, and there's like advanced training happening in the sand, which is kind of more akin to what you were used to, Adonis, if you ever got the chance to train in this sword style. And he leads you around to a room that is a low wall, not like a half wall. It just sort of like separates it out, kind of like a like the penalty box for hockey minus the glass windows, right? So it's just like a separate low squat wall with an opening in it. And he leads you to that. And inside are these like poof cushions and like a chaise lounge. Or not a chaise lounge, but one of those like those elaborate like I jauntily lean on one. One of those.
I asked for this because I don't want the inevitable "you're not my grandmother, who are you" to happen in front of a bunch of people.
Yeah. Makes sense. He leads you over there, and you see a second later he returns. He like kind of dips around a corner. He returns with a tray and a large carafe, an elaborate like bronze carafe of tea. You can see that it's still hot. You can see the warbling lines coming off of it, and a couple of little teacups. And he nods, and you see him abscond into parts unknown of this
Satyr
Satyr
just says, "Thank you so much. It is so good to see Ruby and hospitality so far from home."
Of course. This is the least we can do for the grandmother of Al Sharif. And any sort of extension of Eruvia is a blessing.
Granny's gonna lean over to Satyr, ask him if he has a hookah.
I'm not going to ask him.
He bows and backs out of the room and leaves. A few minutes go by, and you see Abdul Al Sharif. Abdul Al Sharif looks like he is stronger than he is smart. He is quite barrel chested. You see that he is wearing think like Aladdin style pants with a big red sash around the waist. You see that he has a red sash around both of his biceps, and you see that there are several slashes all across his chest, arms, back, neck, as if he's been in quite a few sword fights. And he has a long pointed goatee that has several beads sort of in this thing. Thick black hair that is tied into a large bun on the back of his head. And he walks over alone. No one follows him. He looks to you, Satyr, studies you for a second, and then looks to Ish or Granny, stares at you for a second, and then you see him put his foot, like the center of his sandaled foot, on the edge of the table, and leans back and starts to draw his sword as if he's going to kick the table at you and pull his sword out.
Mr. Al-Sharif, apologies for the subterfuge, but I have an acquaintance of yours.
What are you doing in this temple?
We come to talk to you. If you would take just a moment.
Who are you? Just say my name.
It's me, Ish. Hmm?
Prove it.
Hmm? Okay, 3 years ago, when we went to the brothel, do you remember the two girls?
And he slides the blade back in, puts his foot down, oh yes, my grandmother, Granny Sharif. And he like makes a big display, and he comes over and like, just
Satyr,
loud enough for
Satyr gives
Adonis to
Ish a
hear.
look like,
The crows are
Bravo.
after me.
nice.
The crows are after me. I had to. I'm sorry.
If you bring that war here into my home, I will end you. I will feed you to the crows.
I will not. I will not. I promise. Just don't make a scene. It will all be over soon.
Grandmother, what do I owe this pleasure of having you here? How do in treating you here in the Sword Academy? Are you sending one of the cousins? What is it that you want?
There is something that we seek from the crows.
Is
And
it
I
their
heard.
deaths?
Well, if we're lucky, yes. But no. How much does Ish know of what exactly we're looking for?
What would Satyr have told him on the way over?
I would have told him the basic. Actually, Satyr doesn't know much either.
Yeah.
Right? So we're looking for a relic that, I guess, impacts people's dreams and ability to sleep, and we have a need to acquire that relic. And we have heard that it is here in Fog Hollow.
Hog follow.
Yeah, Hog Hollow.
Godfather.
Yeah,
And if you have any information or heard any rumors, that's the intent.
Yes, we are looking for an artifact. It's here near your school in the fog. It affects dreams. Have you been having crazy, weird dreams?
No, I have not had crazy weird dreams.
I guess you wouldn't if you drink yourself to sleep every night. Still.
Or
He
have
like puts his hands up. Do you speak of the ether?
Sure.
The ether of dreams.
Yes.
Mhm.
There is talk of people, perhaps in Fog Hollow. Our associates have heard of this. We're trying to figure out who is the cause of this. There is the locals. They have called it the ether of dreams. It began as nightmares, nightmares of a strange black sun, creatures devouring, and then over time, people no longer dreamt when they slept.
Yes. This is what we seek.
Something recently happened in Fog Hollow. It did not involve us, or it did not seem to be any of the goings on here in Crow's Foot that I'm sure you're aware of. The Bluecoats blocked off an area over there to investigate some sort of murder or something. None of us, of course, had anything to do with this, and I don't believe that the Lampblacks or the Crows had anything to do with this either.
Can you tell us where that area was, sir?
The blockade is in Fog Hollow, as you had mentioned. There's a block of tenement houses there that I can attempt to send a few of our friends over there and see if they can gather any information.
Perhaps just the area is enough for us.
What's that, John?
I said perhaps just the area is enough for us to show us where it's at. We would not want to put you in any line of danger or expose you in any way.
Everything that happens in Crowsfoot is a line of danger. Fog Hollow. If you follow out here down Flint Street, you'll come to the cross section of Candle Street. Follow Candle Street down about 3, 4, 5 blocks. That will bring you to the Fog Hollow neighborhood. There is a section that is cordoned off. It's called. For the life of me, under street, underpass, under lane. It is in the center of Fog Hollow. It appears as though there was some sort of murder or death or killing of some kind. I believe someone was thrown out or leapt out of a window, but nothing was found there. The blue coats are they are investigating, but no one. I don't know how much you know about Crowsfoot, but everyone here is pretty tight-lipped about pretty much
for good
situation.
Yes, and the blue coats are notoriously good at investigating, right?
Yes, of course they are. They could investigate themselves out of a paper bag.
Well, we may know how to get a little information out of the blue coats, so that is good to know.
Yes.
Oh, knives work pretty well. Hammers are pretty resourceful. If you pull out their fingernails, they don't seem to like that. They seem to talk pretty well if you do that to them as well.
Well, they're certainly not worthy of the ruby blade. So yes.
Well, drowning seems to help. If you just hold them underwater till they squeal, they talk pretty well. But I can, if you like, I can see if I can suss out any more information about this Eater of Dreams.
That would be very beneficial. Thank you so much.
Ish, is it true what they say that you killed the leader of the crows?
I did not kill anyone.
Satyr's eyes just skipping.
I did not kill anyone. I merely provided the means and the imaginations for the way for people.
Yes. You do know that there is a bounty for you.
I really hope that the bounty is not as high as the value of our friendship.
Well, it is getting pretty high, but as of right now, you have my permission to leave.
Thank you, Dooley. I really appreciate this.
Right now, they want you alive more than dead, and I don't. Alive is more work for me.
Yes, and I will tell them about the brothel if they do catch me.
And I will kill you myself. He turns to you, Satyr, and says, "Good luck with this."
Oh, thank
and
you.
he kind of like nods, not towards your situation, but more towards Ish. Good luck with this. This is more trouble than.
I'm quite aware of the trouble that this association brings, as I'm sure you are.
He looks at the tea carafe and he says, "Drink. Stay as long as you need to, and then get the fuck out of my school."
We appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Very nice meeting you, Mr.
Satyr.
Satyr. Yes. You like very, very much like Satyr. Yes. And then he leaves, allowing the two of you to either have more conversation, enjoy tea, and like leisurely leave in not a suspicious sort of way. As much as this is the headquarters of a criminal gang, it is also legitimately an academy where people send their kids to go to school for sword school.
Appearances must be kept.
Yeah, appearances must be kept. So you guys are able to leave whenever you'd like. When you do, where are you going? Are you headed right back to the Opera House, or are you going to examine Fog Hollow at all?
I think since we're already there, Adonis would want to take a quick look at just the
Yeah,
area
we
that's
can-
cordoned off,
We can
But-
swing by.
but not do
Um,
anything crazy.
Cool. So I will say since Kendall already rolled for his sort of gather information, what sort of gathering of information are you after here, Satyr, that is different than what Wren did as you approach Fog Hollow?
So Satyr's thinking two things. One is that if the Bluecoats are already investigating, to engage Hawke and see what she can find out.
Makes sense.
But I think given that we have a specific area, he's going to focus on that and I guess survey the area to see if, like, how accessible it is in that area, if there's any obvious, like you said it was tenements, but is there a place where something could be hidden? So, like, in this tenement area, is there a church or some religious thing or a hospital or somewhere where, like, an item would be, or shop, somewhere that would stick out that just isn't, some random poor person living in a tenement here, right? So,
Yeah.
like, trying to find some place that might stick out as where an item might be kept.
What of your skills do you think would, or which of your attributes do you think would apply to this role?
I literally said survey.
Okay, perfect. So go ahead and roll me a roll fortune with one die in there.
There it is. Number of dice. One.
Ooh, no dice. No
No
dice.
dice.
You look around here, and
Looks like
it is tenements. It is little houses stacked on top of little houses. There's plenty of windows. If something happened here, there are no less than a dozen witnesses. Clearly, you know that based on what Ish's companion said, not a lot of people are talking. Based on what Wren had sort of said, not a lot of people around the district are talking either. So everything is sort of being kept tight-lipped. Given that there's like a full-on gang war also happening here in this district, that's not surprising to you. It does look like the cordoned off area is like the investigation in the area is done, and it's like the police tape essentially is just still there. You could probably get under that and sort of look around, but between like the trash and detritus and like people dumping like piss pots out their window, like it doesn't look like the area looks well trodden, so it'd be difficult to pick up clues around here, you think. But there's plenty of people that you could canvass and talk to if you can get them to talk. You would know that, which would be a challenge in and of itself. Other than that, you don't see really anything around here. You do see the bits of glass, the same thing that Wren saw, the bits of glass on the ground. They do look like they are a fair distance from the building, so it sort of corroborates what Abdul said, in that either something came out of the window at a velocity that which would send shards of glass further from the building. Whether someone was thrown, jumped, etc., you're not entirely sure, but you do see there are shards of glass in the street that no one has bothered to clean up. You also note that nothing has been trampled on, probably outside of the Bluecoats, but like everyone seems to be respecting the cordoned off area. There's no like fresh boot prints in the muck or mud. No one's ground any of the glass into the dirt or anything like that, or into the cobblestone cracks. So everything looks fairly untouched here. Yeah, that's what you see.
That might be good if people are staying away. That might give us an opportunity to get in and look around without other people noticing.
Yeah, for sure. While that is happening, we smash cut back to the opera house. What are Hawke, Wren, and Bo doing?
I think Hawke is looking at the note that Wren left, and she goes, "What kind of? You said it was barricaded off, blocked off by whom?"
Bluecoats?
Oh, really? Okay,
Your friends?
indeed. Perhaps I will go take a look and see what I can learn in this situation.
Take Bo.
Do you think Bo would want to come with me?
He's observant.
Well, I will ask him. And I will head back out to the stage.
Where you see Bo and Fillmore are loading boxes. Fillmore doing his best to keep up with Bo, like a kid trying to race their parent, as they stack boxes around the stage.
Yeah, and she looks at Fillmore kind of in surprise. And she gives him a nod of approval. And
You see him trip.
Jesus. Yeah, she will walk up to Bo. Feel like taking a field trip to Crow's Foot? She stands with like her kind of away from Fillmore just so he's not going to hear what she's saying.
He nods.
Okay. Fillmore. We need to step out and run some errands. Are you good here by yourself?
Yes.
Sweet. Our other friend is here if you need anything.
Okay.
You're doing a very good job. And she
Okay.
gives him a thumbs up. Keep up the good work.
Okay. And he, unlike the last time, he sort of looks to Bo and like raises an eyebrow as if to ask for like, I don't know, safety or reassurance in this situation. Like he like looks like this is okay, right?
Bo walks like I imagine he was walking towards Bo, and Bo just stops, like pats him on the shoulder, and says, "You're doing good. If you need a rest, find an empty room. There's food in the place where food is kept."
Okay.
We'll
Food
see
in
in a
the
bit.
food hole. Yeah.
Oh, it's in the square hole.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Take a break. You've done well. And Bo places his last box down. He would. I don't think he would grab anything. I think he's got everything on him that he would take. So he just looks to Hawke and says, "Ready when you are."
Okay. And they'll head out.
Okay. you head out following that same path, probably shortly thereafter from Ish and Satyr. Again, you head through Char Hollow. You head across the Cinder Bridge, and you make your way down Great Cinder Street towards the Crow's Foot precinct on the backside of the Rag and Bone. You see a typical precinct, although this one is understaffed. You imagine, Hawke.
Okay.
This one seems to be either it's understaffed or the Bluecoats have more than the average have checked out a little bit. What you're a local. What do you think? Would you say Hawke's knowledge level of Crow's Foot is?
Maybe about 6'7".
6'7"? About 6'7"?
Yeah, give or take.
So I think you would know that prior to the murder of the leader of the Crows, Crow's Foot was pretty locked down and loyal to the Crows. Like the people of Crow's Foot don't really have a problem with the gang running the show. So like, sure, they weren't cops, right? But like, it was like the Italian American mafia be like, hey, you're safe in in this part of town as long as you pay your dues and shit. Like, crime's gonna be low because we control crime. So like, it was relatively safe there. And so like, there seems to have been less Bluecoat presence because the criminals controlled the crime. Now it is the polar opposite. There is blood in the streets. There's a full-on gang war, and the Bluecoats have sort of adopted the mentality. There's too much for us to do, so we'll only do what we feel like we can, which is whatever they feel like that day. So they are both inadequately staffed, but also inadequately prepared or caring. So you walk in to your average smaller district precinct, probably a precinct similar to the size of like the one in Six Towers. And in Six Towers, that like a lot of the crime has left there as well. Not like a lot of it, but like it's not a lot of like large gangs operating in Six Towers as it was like an opulent, used to be an opulent side of town.
So I'm walking into their precinct, as in their HQ. Is Bo coming with me?
And that's up to you. You see the precinct, and you can see like there's like it's your typical like glass door, glass like large plate glass windows, but you can see that there's like police operating in here. You see like a jailhouse, like a jail, like a drunk tank essentially in the back there. So whether you approach and go inside or not, you just see the presence of the force is lower here.
Oh, okay. I'm going to turn to Bo. It's like, would you mind waiting here? I'm just gonna pop inside, see if maybe I can lend my services to them and see if they're good with that.
I will not stand here because and he looks around. I stand out a bit, but I'll keep walking.
Okay.
So we'll follow Hawke into the precinct.
Okay. She just straightens her blue coat jacket, rubs the buttons a little bit on her sleeve, and then makes her way into the front door.
Okay. You head into the front door. A few Bluecoats sort of look up. They kind of give you a nod. It's not uncommon for Bluecoats of other places to appear in the precincts, so it don't really pays it any mind. And you see the front desk clerk. She stands up. She's probably in her like early 20s. She's wearing like the like official like garb of a Bluecoat, but not the uniform. Like this is what you'd wear like as an office person. So she has like the uniform on and like a badge that like denotes that she is like a civil servant essentially. She stands, straightens the pleats in her dress, and she says, "Excuse me, Officer, who are you here to see?
Oh, Brooksandra Van Hexley. That is me, and she offers her hand.
Officer Van Huxley, she shakes your hand. Are you here? Is there anything I can help you with?
Well, actually, I was just wondering if there's anything I can help you with. I have some free time on my hands, and I have heard that things in Crowsfoot have been a little rough lately with the you know.
The war.
Yes.
Yeah.
Didn't want to use the W word.
Of course. No, there have been a large number of murders, assassinations, etc.
Yeah, like this is a little out of, I guess, unorthodox, but I have free time. I would be more than willing to offer my boots on the street if that would help you.
I can talk to the watch captain. Find out what they think.
Is there anything? Is there anything like pending or anything that's you need some help gathering evidence? Anything?
Do you have a specialty, Officer Huxley?
Weird things.
Oh,
I do have a history of or some experience, I should say, in handling weird occult things.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yes. Actually, wait right here.
Okay.
And she scurries off. You see her open like the swinging half door. She disappears into an office, and she's gone for maybe 5 to 10 minutes as she's talking to what you presume to be the watch captain. Are you waiting patiently, or are you being a creep?
No, she's actually looks very uncreepy here. She just like leans casually against the desk, is like, "How are you? Hi," and yeah.
Yeah, you hear a couple of people. They're like, "Oh yeah, you crazy there, coffee,
Yeah, she'll take one of those crappy like styrofoam cups of coffee.
algae donut." She as
She
they
passes on
converse. You want that?
No.
You see the
But it has sprinkles.
yeah, it has mushroom
sprinkles.
Yeah. You see the clerk head back, and she says, "Strangely enough, Officer Von Huxley, Watch Commander Childermass has authorized me to put you in the investigation pool for the strange or weird goings on in Fog Hollow, a neighborhood on the south end. We haven't sent this up to Charter Hall yet, but we believe there is a husk on the
Really?
loose.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yes. Now I'm not sure how this would happen. A hollow, she says, not a husk, a hollow. Typically, this would be some sort of powerful arcanum, but Crowsfoot isn't known for that sort of thing. For someone to be able to remove the soul of a person, and should a soul be removed, as you know, the spirit wardens would be prepared to respond to that, and no bells tolled, no crows cawed. The spirit wardens are thus far unaware, and I don't know what your experience with hollows are, but from what I understand, they're usually quite dim.
Did you say dim? D-I-M?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
This one seems to have grown quite violent.
Interesting. Well, say no more. Say no more. Has there been any sightings of this hollow?
Well, unfortunately, yes. We were trying to pin it on one of the sashes, the lamp blacks, or the. But there was a murder in Fog Hollow. I'm not entirely sure what happened in the altercation, but we do know that one of the tenants in a boarding house in Fog Hollow was murdered. And I don't know how to put this delicately. The only eyewitness report we've had is that two persons exploded out of a third-story window, with one of the persons riding the other down to the ground.
And
then the person on top fled. We think that was the hollow.
All right.
Yes. I hope that helps. We have, honestly, no one's really speaking to us in Crow's Foot, given the current goings-on. So we don't have many leads to go on. And the owner of the boarding house, it seems as though all of her record keeping for the past decade burned in a fire that only she recalls.
And what is the name of the boarding house?
Here, I can give you the cross streets, and she writes down the cross streets of the area,
Okay.
which is the cross streets of. Let me see here. The cross streets of Candle Street and Underpass Lane is the cross street. She says if you hit Red Dagger Alley, you've gone too far. She says yes. The owner of the boarding house seems to have lost all of her records in a tragic fire, probably in her own fireplace.
Yes. Convenient. Thank you so much. Your name?
My name is Isabella Kilkin.
Isabella. Thank you. Thank you so much for allowing me to impose on you. And she will reach out to shake her hand again.
And she dings a bell. Of course, is there? Would you like us to send a runner to your district so that you're properly reimbursed?
Not this time. I'm trying something new. And she gives her a wink.
Oh. Okay.
And then with her jacket and she leaves.
Throws a sheet on a corpse.
Yeah.
While Hawke is in here, Bo, what are you doing?
So Bo is gonna wander around. He's gonna keep wandering through the streets a bit, and he's gonna try and tap into anything ghosty that he can detect. So he drops his hand sort of into his cloak, and he starts playing with the rings on his axe handle, and he's just spinning them as he wanders, and he's trying to tap in and just see if there's anything untoward, not from the people side of things, but more from the spirits or less savory things.
Interesting. Go ahead and roll me a fortune roll, and this sounds like it's going to be my brain shut off. I forgot what the heck it's called. Attune.
Attune, so that's a 2. Fortune roll, 2 pips. 6 and a 4.
A 6, a full success, our first one of the night. You tap into the ghost network. Do your eyes change at all as you look into the ghost network?
That's a good question. I guess they probably glaze over a bit, not necessarily changing color, but it's as if he's not looking at things.
Okay.
He's looking like 5 feet beyond a wall, etc.
Sure. So your eyes sort of glaze over and you look. Obviously, your vision doesn't change. You can still see all the buildings around you. But it's kind of like when you're in like a good like zone stare, you can still see everything, but like you're not focused on things. And then the buildings around you take on sort of a blue hue. And like some of the buildings might like the facade might completely change as you're seeing memories of buildings that were here in this moment of like this snap, this chalk line of this ghost network. As you sort of make your way around, you see like blood does run in Crow's Foot, so murders are abound, and typically the spirit wardens are on top of that, but you do see that there are echoes, and echoes are like the lowest threat level of ghosts, and they're like either like actual ghosts or like the remnants of ghosts. So you may see like somebody getting shoved into an alley and then like stabbed, and like there's replays on like a loop until like the spirit wardens kind of attune and clear that out. So you see things like that. You see like someone getting run down on a carriage, and like their limbs sort of pop as you sort of make your way through these places. What you notice on a 6 is that you feel cold, colder than you should. You see only echoes, and the echoes seem to be not recent. You haven't heard of any of these. Not that you are like super attuned to the deaths in Crow's Foot, but like these don't seem like recent murders or recent deaths. Everything feels unnaturally cold, and despite the work of the spirit wardens, like you know that like a ghost is bound to slip by in some capacity, right? Some people try to like save something that a ghost is tied to of a family member so they can like keep the memory alive of their family member. You're only seeing echoes, which means that anything more powerful or more like connected to the world is either gone or the spirit wardens are doing a bang up job here in Crow's Foot. So everything feels unnaturally cold. And as you look around the city, despite like the buildings, everything sort of takes on like a sort of like soft transparency where like the buildings are there, but you're focused on like that blue echo of the buildings, and you can kind of see a little bit further through that way. In the south end, you see these like blue buildings, and it all sort of like fades as though you're looking through a distance, right? There is a large black hole, like a black spot, where you see like blue buildings, and it sort of fades to black. And it's all in the south central of Crow's Foot, which you would know is where Fog Hollow is.
He would slowly start making his way in that direction, kind of expecting that at some point Hawke would step up and step next to him. He's not walking quick because he knows that he does need to wait. But yeah, he would be heading slowly in that direction.
How much does Bo care about his own safety?
I don't think he worries about it specifically.
Okay. Perfect. I think if you're not worried about your own safety, then it is a straight shot down by like 4 or 5 blocks from the precinct to Crow's Hollow. Or sorry, to Fog Hollow. You can't. It's not a straight line. It's kind of like an X, but either way, you can walk pretty much straight to there. So I think in the 10 plus minutes that Hawke is inside the precinct chit chatting, you can probably make it at least as far as the Crow's Nest, if not as far as Bear Lane, which is just one street. It's 1 block north of Candle Street, which is one of the cross sections that Hawke was given. And the closer you get, the more looming. Like the closer you get, the more like in sharper detail. Like this black hole is not like, oh, I just couldn't see far enough. The black hole is becoming more and more in sharper relief, and you're watching as like the ghost network sort of like bends towards this, and it gets colder as you walk through. And I feel like Bo is not one who's big on like being afraid of stuff. There is like a creeping dread that like the feeling that like makes the hair on the back of your neck stand up, that like says like, oh, I might be in a little bit of like predatory danger here, like there something might be looking for me, right? That feeling of like walking through the forest and knowing that you're not on the top of the food chain, as you sort of make your way towards this, you feel as watched as you are being watched, and something about this area makes you want to go further in a way that's like drawing you in.
As Bo slowly walks, as I said, he's fiddling with his axe. It has, I think I said it was 5 rings on it in stone, and he clicks the first 3 into, they kind of like lock into their positions, and he holds on the last 2 as he walks closer and closer. But he's still walking slow, hoping that at this point Hux is coming at some point. But he's constantly going towards it.
Hawke, I will tell you, you can jump in whenever you feel is dramatically appropriate, if at all.
Yeah, when he clicks those rings into place, he feels the presence behind him, and she's there.
I think that's the point where the 4th one clicks in, leaving the last one free. And he looks like just over his shoulder and says, "There's something very wrong here."
It appears that a hollow may be gaining more power than it should.
You do weird stuff, Bo. You would know a hollow is a soulless, it's a living body without a spirit. As Hawke was sort of informed, hollows are typically pretty dim. There's not a lot going on with them. The soul sort of needs to pilot the body mech, the meat mech.
So they're empty vessels.
What's that?
So they're empty vessels.
They are empty vessels. However, either unlike or very like your forgotten god would have you believe, an empty vessel is one that is easily controlled if you have the power to do so. So if a hollow is gaining more power in the way that Hawke has indicated, then likely someone here or something here is strong enough to control it like a puppet master.
And it might be rooted in anger. That seems to be a running theme. And then she'll describe the most recent murder that they're heading to. About how it was 2 bodies out the window and then 1 ran away.
Mike, as we keep walking, the feeling of dread gets worse and worse.
The closer you get, the more you feel all those things. The more you feel like whatever this darkness is wants you here, like the stronger it is, and also the harder it is to like stop. It's kind of like almost that like hypnotism that like once you start going, the closer you get to the black hole, the vacuum begins to pull you in, and you feel your willingness to stop walking slowly slipping away the closer you get.
Does he look perturbed or anything?
I would probably say yes.
And yeah, so she'll glance at him while she's talking, and then she'll do a, "You all right? What's on your mind?"
I feel like I'm being dragged in to this place. And he stops for a second and he looks across at Hawke and says, "Normally, there is a lot of residual spirit energy around. There's nothing. And in front of us is a big hole. And that big hole is making me want to go there." I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
And I don't feel anything, I assume.
But whatever we're after is in there. Or whatever's after us is in there.
Well, I can go by myself if you wish.
He shakes his head. I don't think that's safe.
All right. Our lost god wills it. And she keeps walking.
Are you continuing to head towards the black hole?
Yeah.
Okay. You get closer and closer, and you bridge the cross street. You bridge the cross street of Candle Street. To you, you see you're on Candle Street now, Hawke, and you see a street over from, or a street or two over from where you were is Underpass Lane. You see there are two like sky bridges above that. And you see that on the ground level there's rope that has like blue coat like taped across it. You see most of the windows are sort of shuttered, but you can see that there's like at least a dozen that look into that alleyway beyond there. And as you get closer, you see that there is glass sort of smattered around places. You can kind of look up, see that on the third story rise, there is a shattered window. All of this matches what Isabella had told you inside there. Bo, you are in darkness. You no longer see the blue, the familiar blue of the Ghost Network. You see darkness all around you. In fact, you are so far in this that if you look in any direction, you can no longer see the blue in any direction. You only see darkness around you. You know that you are close to the center of the darkness. You know that if you walk forward more, you feel like that's the center. And every muscle in your body, every synapse is firing to walk faster and into this. The hairs on the back of your neck are no longer standing in a way that like reminds you of like it reminds you about like an animal in a slaughterhouse, right? When the rats in the rat maze stop skittering and screeching and they've just accepted that this is the end, all of the hairs on the back of your neck have gone down. All like fear and any kind of hackle that you would have raised has gone down to the point where like you have almost there's a part of you that has accepted whatever is going to happen is going to happen, which you can decide how uncomfortable that makes you. You're at least with a 6, you're aware of how you're feeling, and that in some way you have been placated to enter further into this thing, and you can feel that whatever this force is pulling you towards this. You will have to either be removed from here, or you will have to actually fight against this if you want to turn away.
He will go with it.
Okay. You continue moving forward. Again, you see nothing but darkness. Hawke, do you follow him? Do you let him continue going?
I'm under the impression that she's leading the way because she has official permission to be here.
Okay.
So unless Bo is saying something to her, she's gonna keep going.
Okay.
He would have followed, and if she stopped, he would have just kept walking past her. But if she keeps on walking, he'll just be a step behind.
You can no longer see Hawke. You can no longer see actually physical buildings either. All you can see is the darkness around you. So you're walking in essentially a straight line. It just so happens that you're walking not into a building. Hawke, do you remove the rope line?
Yeah, or she will step under it.
Okay. I think you would see Bo like bump into this thing. And it's not like tied securely in a way that would like prevent people from going in. It's just like a hey, don't come here thing. But you see Bo like bump into it and it loosens and slowly unties as it like falls to the ground. Either Bo just really didn't care about ropes or he doesn't seem to notice that he walked into one.
Bo.
You can hear her.
Does he hear her?
Yep.
He says yes.
If you stop, Hawke, Bo walks past you.
Yeah, because she like would duck and then stand up, and then I'm assuming because he said he's right behind, that he just keeps going.
Yep.
It's just ahead. I can't see anything else, but I know it's ahead, and he just keeps walking.
Curious, and she will follow.
Just for shits and giggles, Bo, go ahead and roll me. This is not usually how this works, but I'm making up some rules. Go ahead and roll me a resistance roll. That is going to be your lowest, so choose one, either prowess or resolve. I think resolve is probably the best choice for this one right now. Roll me just straight up resolve for your resistance roll. Okay, great.
Oh.
Nothing catastrophic happens. You continue to walk forward. And you feel yourself drop to your knees. You still have your axe in your hand?
It's not like out in his hand. It's on the hilt, and he's been messing with it, but he was holding on to it the whole way. Yeah.
Got it. So everything in your body is telling you to go down. So you can decide how that do you take your axe out. Like, you feel that there is stone underneath you, and Hawke, you see him drop to his knees in the middle of an alleyway that just seems like an alleyway. It is hard to say, but like it is in the vicinity of where the shards of glass fell. Your best guess is that looks like quick trajectory math. That looks like probably where the bodies landed. But yeah. Bo, everything in your body wants to go down, like through the ground.
He would not use his axe, but he would start feeling around to see if he can find the edge of stones, and he would be trying to dig that out with his hands.
Okay.
She's just watching him, like kind of like circling him. Like she's not going to stop him because she doesn't know what the fuck he's doing, and she's just going to watch.
But you would see him like trying to find something. Like it's as if he's lost something on the ground, looking for edges.
You see him start to attempt to dig through cobblestone.
Okay, okay. So she will crouch, not next to him, but maybe like to his 3 o'clock, you know. And she's like, "What do your ghost eyes see, Bo?"
Absolutely nothing. It's black, just blackness everywhere I look. But it's not a see; it's a feel. It's below us. Whatever we're looking for is below us. Straight down.
Hawke, it is rare, I believe, that you are startled.
Mm-hmm.
All at once, as Bo says that, you feel the temperature drop a noticeable amount of degrees, and you hear far closer to your ear than you'd like to hear a very baritone, smoky, very probably attractive voice given most other circumstances in your ear say, "Excuse me, officer, may I be of assistance?" And as you snap, there is a man standing right beside you. You didn't hear him approach. You didn't hear any sort of movement. And he is standing full up, like he's as if standing upright. He is bent at the waist. He has a very elegant cane, and he is speaking in your ear.
Oh man!
You see an older gentleman, probably in his early 70s, late 60s, given the time frame. He has a black filigree waistcoat, a black what do you call it? Not an ascot, not a tie. That other thing that's like one of those. Cravat. Thank you. A like calf length black coat, black leather gloves. His hair is like, soft white gray, sort of parted, a large poof on the side, and a equally gray white, very manicured beard and mustache, and very piercing blue eyes. And you see that he has a beautifully ornate cane that he has leaned down on. And without a shadow of a doubt, that leaning and speaking into your ear and asking if you need any help, officer, is one Lord Skurlock.
Ooh,
and that is where we will end this episode of Always Bloody in Doskvol.
She'll be like, "Oh yeah!" Pulls out her blade, goes. Yeah.
Stab.
Yeah. I'm the only one allowed to creep up on people here.
Yeah, that's what you think. That's what you think, baby. All right. Anyone who needs to take a bathroom break or get a beverage will do so. I know we ran a little bit long today. We'll come back to a quick after show. If you don't need to go anywhere, then we'll jump right in and get started. Great, no one's moving. Outstanding. We will start with our first investigator of the night, Melissa. What are your stars and wishes from this episode?
Awesome. Just jump right into it.
Yeah.
Okay, so Hawke was super cool, super creepy, standing behind Fillmore, and then got that same thing done to her at the end, which was great. I love that little mirror. The general creepiness is really cool. I don't know what the word is for like double entendre, but it's not about sex. It's about I'm going to murder you. Like I don't. Like, is there a word for that? Double entendre?
I feel like entendre is still the same thing.
Is it still the same thing? I thought double entendre was like about sex, but okay. And I also like the contrasting blue coat identity. I think that's really cool. I don't know. It's fun. I think Ish has definitely introduced like a fun comedic element, which I totally appreciate. I always think that, you need to have like contrasting feels in any kind of story. And I think without Ish here, we might be getting a little too serious, a little bit too creepy. So I really love that addition. And I also liked that, like the little moment with the pulling down the thing and saying, "It's me, Ish." That was good.
Yeah.
Satyr, I'm really enjoying as what I believe to be like our leader. I think we said it first was our face. Although maybe Ish is going to become the face. I don't know. I'm real confused about that. But, I like Satyr. Satyr's like making sure everybody's doing the right thing, introducing the right people, creating some calm, maybe trying to calm Fillmore a little bit and use some actual strategy to bring him into the group instead of threats. I thought that was all really well done. So thank you, John. And then I said Joe because I was about to move on to Bo. So Bo, I think you've mentioned that ring design on the axe before, and I would love to know more about that. It sounds cool. It seems interesting. I like Bo's general approachability in contrast with everyone else. Bo isn't the face, but I feel like we need somebody a little bit more grounded, and that's what we have with Bo. So yeah, I like that. I also like at the beginning how he's talking to Fillmore, and it seemed like, okay, we were going to get someone who was actually kind of nice to the guy. And then it kind of turned a little, it slowly kind of turned in that direction. And in particular, like I think at first he was talking about, well, you don't have to stay. And it was starting to get on the edge of creepy. But then when he started talking about Hawke's role as a blue coat and finding criminals, I love the hidden thoughts there. So that was super cool. And last, I really, Mike, enjoyed the addition of Sorrow's eyeballs going completely backwards. That's an ideal image for me for Sorrow. So thank you for that addition.
I'm glad you like that.
On the whole, I don't know if I have any wishes. I think my wishes are all kind of like I'm still trying to figure out this whole like descriptive thing that I'm trying to do. And I admit sometimes it does still feel kind of awkward, but I also think I don't know, it feels awkward, and sometimes it still feels kind of a little bit it's not quite working, but I do think it's good for me. It's a good challenge for stretching, and so I want to keep at it, I think. And maybe if it feels like I'm never able to overcome it, I'll drop it. But I don't know. For now,
I like the concept you have, because it's not only a stretch for you, but it's also like a table exercise, right? In that, like, you're playing a character who doesn't speak, which forces you to narrate more than you do speak. But now the rest of the table has to contend with a character who doesn't speak. And like in character, everyone would be accepting of the fact that Wren doesn't speak. So now it's on the players to be like, okay, cool. How does my player interact with a person who doesn't talk? Like, how do I navigate that role play element? And I think it's kind of cool because you don't always get that with a non-talking character without being like I'm a lone wolf in the corner and talk. So like, yeah, I think it's cool, and it's an interesting stretch for everybody to like see how you interact with a character who's not a brick wall, but just like a very socially awkward, inept kind of character. Like, how do you engage with a person you know isn't going to talk back to you in a way that's not like, fucking just answer my questions, which I think is kind of cool. I like that.
Yeah, the conversation with Hawke was interesting because it was like a direct question, and then I'm like, okay, well, what do I do? And so I was like, well, I'm going to use as few words as possible.
Yeah.
So I think I managed to answer each question with just 2 words. So that was good, I think.
Mhm.
I also want to mention I also like the relationship that's forming more with Bo and Hawke. I think that's cool. It's fun.
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
I think this is the most they've ever spoken to each other.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, it is only episode 4.
Yeah.
As you know. All right, let's jump to our next investigator. That'd be Kendall. What are your stars and wishes from this episode?
Well, stars obviously has to go to John for putting up with all the shit that I was forcing him to do. Him being Granny's what are they called? The attendant, yeah.
Escort.
Escort, there you go, yeah.
Escort's a better word for Satyr.
Yeah, and the whole you did exactly what I wanted you to do, Mike, whenever you were like, prove it, and I was like, I really hope I go into like 2 sentences of a weird story and he just goes, and he did it. And I was like, okay, thank God I didn't have to keep going with that. Those are really good, and I'm not gonna lie, up until like literally 2 minutes ago, I didn't even notice that Wren didn't talk. I didn't realize that all of her, through her narrating and stuff, it just, my brain didn't connect the fact that her character's not talking.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, as y'all were explaining it just now, I was like, that makes the whole grabbing the hair and burning it thing make a little bit more sense. Yeah, I get it. And I was trying to, I was going to make a joke about too many people being named after birds, because we have Hawke and Wren, and I was like, oh, do we all need bird names? But yeah, the John sticking with Ish doing the whole makeup tutorial thing, the whole scene with the turning me into Mrs. Doubtfire was amazing.
Ishfire.
Miss Ishfire. Yeah, and I guess for wishes, I wish in the future to have similar awkward adventures with each person, and be able to pull them out of their comfort zone of whatever serious shit they're doing. Especially Bo and Hawke, because I think with Wren, it's going to be a lot of Ish talking to himself, and which I love the concept of that, and I want to see how that plays out. But I just want to see if I can get Bo to use his axe on somebody for me. Really.
It's really more of a scary thing. But...
Yeah.
And on the bird thing, in our session 0, we did talk about that, whether we should all have a bird name.
The complete irony is like, you have no way to know this, but in my other, so I run a home game of Blades in the Dark, and I use the same like Roll20 for all of the Blades in the Dark stuff I'm doing. So they are called the Grackles, which is also a bird.
A bird.
And they are they are a group of hawkers, which is the people that like hawk things, like sell things. So they're drug dealers, and they've made an ally of a group of smugglers who are aptly named the Vultures. And now they are trying to get in Crow's Foot to sell their merchandise to befriend the crows. So now the crows, the grackles, and the vultures are all working together to sell drugs. And I'm like, fucking birds. like Brennan Lee Mulligan over here. It's bird facts.
Oh god, it's Alfred Hitchcock's.
Yeah, so many bird things. I'm like, wild. And then half the team over here pick bird names, and I'm like, God damn it, I can't get away from these birds. All right, from Kendall, we'll move to John, our third investigator. John, what are your stars and wishes?
All right. Well, I don't know that I exactly call myself an investigator this mission.
You investigated. Whether it was successful or not is a different story, but you investigated.
Here. Where's my notes? Yeah, I like the Wren pulling the hair and then burning it, and that kind of like whole thing. I was like, that is so trippy and creepy.
So weird. Super weird.
Super weird. That was very fun. So that was cool. And then I also kind of didn't even think about it, but when Wren came back from her investigative kind of foray, just as Satyr was like, "So how'd it go, Wren? Like, what did you find, or whatever?" Not even thinking that she was not going to respond, and then just like starts putting things. I was like, "Oh yeah." So I thought that was really cool. That was very in character, because it'd be very easy for you to, Melissa, to kind of slip back into to not think about it. So well done. I feel like I almost met you. Let's see. I really enjoyed the Bo big hug. any friend of Satyr's, which I thought was amusing, because I don't think Satyr has actual friends. But anyway,
He said he was a friend.
I like anyone of us to have friends.
I'd like your the axe sharpening. That was very on brand. And then to turn around and just be like befriend poor Fillmore here, I thought was really cool and funny. And I think my favorite comment from you was like, he said, "Can I leave?" And you're like, "Do you want to?"
I don't know.
So that was cool. Let's see. Where was I? Yeah, the just the whole Fillmore interaction with Hawke, I really enjoyed. Just kept scaring the crap out of him repeatedly, and then to give him like the thumbs up, like, "Buddy, good job." That whole interaction was really fun, and how you recruited this poor kid. And then at the end, I thought was very on brand for G was just the coat flourish as you walked out. That was just, I'm like, yep. I'm like, what is it with you and the flourishing? Like this.
I'm done talking to you.
Gotta have a little flourish, you know.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. All that stuff. So it was very fun. And then just had a really good time interacting with Ish, and kind of trying to, I guess, develop that relationship a little bit, and just roll with the Kendall's shenanigans, which are fun. And then there's just a couple things that I just noted that I thought were really fun. The brothel, like bringing up a brothel as a threat, that's something you were going to share. Just like bringing it up multiple times was funny. But yeah, just love your energy, Kendall, and kind of bringing in brevity and giving me something fun to play off of. So cool, man.
Any wishes for you, John?
Not really. Go anyway. Just to see, I mean, I'm not so much a wish, but did not expect to see the Lord Sturlock angle. That was a shock. So excited to see where that goes. So.
Also, for anyone curious, Lord Skurlock is played by current day Pierce Brosnan. So I'll send a picture of the Pierce Brosnan that I'm referring to.
Little daddy going on.
If you've seen the movie Thursday Murder Club, you'll understand. I'll post a picture of it so everyone can see this guy. Oh, that's not it. That's my Stars and Wishes. Hold on. There you go. Current day Pierce Brosnan. All right. From John, we will jump over to G. What are your Stars and Wishes?
Yeah, I will be a little quick here. I'll start with my wish. I wish that Wren realized, what the fuck am I doing here, sitting here by myself, and she's gonna jump on the roofs and follow us, so she can be in the area.
I was thinking that that's what was happening, but I also didn't want to I wanted to give you guys room for the scene.
That could be the start of next week.
I was gonna say we can start that way next time.
Yeah.
Yeah, my thought was that she kind of gives a bird whistle that Bo recognizes, and he'll glance up, and she'll just
Yeah. I really like this Satyr and Ish combo that's going on. You guys are very entertaining to watch. I like when he's like, ask him if he's got a pipe, and he's like, I'm not gonna ask him that.
Ask him for a hookah.
Yeah, hookah. Yeah.
I'm just not gonna do that.
Yeah, it's like no. You guys are very fun to watch, and I want to see more of that. I also wanted to learn more about the rings on Bo's axe, because I know you have mentioned it, and I totally forgot about it. But you wouldn't have just brought it up out of the blue. So I want to learn more about that. I like how everyone was kind of took a turn with Fillmore to try and welcome him in. So I do want to, me as a player, I don't want to creep him out, but that's not what Hawke would try to do. So, but I also don't want to freaking scare the kid, so he's completely useless to me. Otherwise she will just kill him. So another wish is to find a use for Fillmore to focus his energies, that he's at least happy with, that he wants to be here with our group, and I liked the dog's eyes flipping backwards and the burning of the hair of Ish by Wren. That was funny and very interesting. I like the little quirks, and I agree with what Kendall said about your descriptions, Melissa, were very seamless, and it did very well to bring Wren into the scene. And I think I'll keep it for there. Oh, and obviously the Mr. Skurlock at the end.
Lord Skurlock.
Lord, yeah, no, yeah. Sorry, Lord. And I'm looking
We're
forward
tired for that title.
Yeah,
I didn't spend 4 years in evil, creepy guy's school to be
I didn't go to the Lord Academy to be called Mr.
Yeah, Lord Skurlock. And I look forward to seeing what shenanigans he ensues with us. Yeah.
It's funny because you guys, in your character creation, your crew creation, most of you guys are like, nah, fuck that guy.
He's not our patron, is he?
He's not.
Okay.
You guys were mostly like, fuck that guy. And in my Grackles campaign, they're like, that is our patron. That's our dog. They're working directly with him. And it's so funny to see. And you're both in 6 towers. So it's so funny to see just how you two are your two groups are polar opposites, which is very fun.
Because I think we're just paying him off, right? To let us.
He is like the ward boss of 6 towers. So you're paying him off to you're doing crimes and giving him a cut, so he doesn't really pay attention to you, more or less.
Yeah.
Until now.
Yeah. I just realized something. We didn't do a part of your crew creation, or we did, but we didn't actually like finish it. As a cult, you start off with a gang. So you have a gang of adepts, which is like a gang of smart people, which is like essentially your probably like the members of your cult, which is
Didn't
like
we do
small.
that?
I think it's like 4 to 6 people.
I don't think
You-
we like named them or anything like
You
that.
didn't. You didn't name it. You didn't like do any of the like the stuff for them. There's
Oh,
like a
One of
component
them's
of that.
named Fillmore.
I was gonna say we could make it so that Fillmore is part of that. I don't want to take away like you did earn an asset from him individually, but we can sort of fold him into the
Yeah,
gang if you choose.
I'm totally fine with that.
You'll still get your asset from him specifically, but we can fold him in and keep him as a named member of the gang, as it were. All right. Last but not least, Chris, what are your stars and wishes?
I can say least.
No.
The first star is for Melissa. You said you didn't know if Wren was working. I do think Wren works perfectly. I absolutely love the descriptions. I love how you play Wren. The eccentricities of Wren just make Wren awesome. I think because you don't have to say anything, you can do the weird. And I think that's awesome. And I really do love it. And I do, like Mike said, I enjoy the challenge of trying to make sure to keep the link between Bo and Wren without the speech, where I don't think Bo would specifically go out of his way to talk to Wren because knowing that she's not going to respond, but it's the how they interact, which I'm enjoying. So full stars for that. John with Satyr, I'm really glad that he's the face. And I think John is perfect at getting people to join a cult. So whenever you're starting up a cult, John, just let me know. I'll be there. Always keen for a cult. And then just stars for the general game, and people have said it already. It was great to do an RP session, very RP heavy, which was awesome. It's a nice change. So yeah. And wishes is to not die in the middle of Crowsfoot. You're muted, Mike.
You're muted.
I said I won't kill you. Yeah, I will say for my stars, I will third, fourth, or fifth, whatever everyone said. Melissa, I love the fact that you're playing Wren the way you are playing for both the reason you have decided to play that way and also for the reason I said earlier. But it's also interesting to watch. Like you're a very creative person. We've seen you play a multitude of characters. But there is, as someone who plays a constant multitude of characters, you only have so much brain power to go between like how weird can I be, how accenty can I be, how like in depth is my character, right? So like having to like shunt that around to different characters, especially as a GM, is a pain of like that's why 70-80% of the characters just talk like me, and then only like certain ones have an accent or like an affectation. But it's interesting seeing because you're not talking as Wren, all of your brain power shifts to how fucking weird can I be? Which is like your other characters are fun and can be zany, but they're not super weird, right? Or it seems as though all of your creative energy is like, yeah, I'm gonna pull your hair out and light it on fire and smell the smoke, but not say anything about it. You're like, okay, cool, that's fucking weird, dude. That's weird as shit. Like you're weird. Like anyone in the room, they'd go, weird kid? Okay, cool. Yikes. So it's very interesting to see like your creative mindset shift from like, what do I say in this situation? Like, how do I role play this character verbally versus like, how do I just do weird stuff? Because I'm the weird kid. And that's very fun. Seeing how you're portraying this strange character is very cool. I agree with what everyone said about Kendall. That is not to put baby in a box there, but that is Kendall's strong suit, is bringing levity to anything, tempered with his ability to play a very serious character, but also like knowing the comedic timing of when to put some funny shit in there. It can be very easy, like as someone who likes horror and like weird spooky shit, it can be very easy for me to get lost in that and forget like, oh yeah, everyone feels bad and sad about the horrible descriptions I've been saying. I should make a joke. here, and Kendall's very good at that, as slipping in a humorous moment to sort of bring us back to reality. And Ish is a very fun character. I'm excited to see where Ish falls into this. I'm excited to see where all your characters fall into this, because like I'm discovering this world that we're playing in as we're playing in it. So I didn't know Lord Skurlock was going to show up until Bo kept going and Hawke was also there. And I was like, you know who G would hate to show up right next to them? That guy.
I don't know anything about him.
Yeah, I know. But in my heart, I was like, you know what G would hate? If that guy showed up right now, way too close. And I feel like I was right.
Yeah. It's like, don't take my flame here.
My creepy exposition. I also loved in this episode specifically the contrast between Satyr and Bo, in that like Satyr is the face for all of like the reasons why like Face was the face in the A team, right? In like he is the recruiter, he is the come in and join me, like he's the salesman. But like Bo ostensibly looks like the like we know that he's like you're a what the hell's the class? The Tinker class. I forget what the hell it's called right now. But you're you've described your character as being like big and menacing and has a big fucking axe, right? Which is not like what you would typically picture when you have like, oh yeah, I'm the nerd who builds bombs. So like you are the most physically imposing character. So you're the scariest to look at, except you had the only regular conversation with Fillmore. And like Satyr had a regular conversation, but it was a regular conversation for Satyr, which was as regular as a car salesman's conversations are regular. That you're like, you are saying flowery words, but I'm pretty sure you're fucking me over right now, and I just don't know how it's happening, and I'm not 100%. Smart enough to figure it out. Yeah. So it's very interesting seeing those two characters of like him going from like too afraid to look at you because you're just like the dad with the shotgun on the couch, to like, hey man, you want to help me move boxes? Come on, kid, let's play some ball in the yard. Was very interesting. And I liked that Fillmore sort of has you a little bit rethinking your approach to him, G. I wanted to play Fillmore as like he is the type of person who would get sucked into a cult, right? He is at a low point. He has lost a lot of like reputation. His family will not be happy. Like he has all the markers of someone who is ripe for the pickings of a cult.
Yeah.
But at the same time, he has all the markings of someone who's smart enough to know as they're joining a cult, I think I'm joining a cult. And do I want to join a cult? Whereas most people in that situation have joined the cult and they're like, oh fuck, yeah. I think I'm in a cult.
You're like, you're at your lowest. And he's like, but my parents love me.
Yeah, yeah.
They do not love you.
Yeah. He's not so far gone to have joined the cult and been unaware until he's like, oh no, the Kool-Aid, this is a cult. Fuck. He's having the existential crisis while joining the cult, where he's like, I am not sure if I want to be here or if I'm allowed to leave. That guy seems okay. That lady's terrifying. I think that guy's trying to buy my soul. So it's like, it's a
like, don't you want to continue your work with necromancy?
Yeah, of course. We'll fund you, with our Scientology school. Well, you can fucking come on over. So yeah, I'm interested to see how this plays out. What the hell happens next in this thing? And I want to see what this score comes down to be. I have to remember to like reframe Blades of the Dark to be like must fit the mechanics of scores, because that's kind of like the point of the game. Because it's so easy to treat it like every other TTRPG where I'm like, cool, now we're on an adventure. And I'm like, okay, well the point is not adventures. The point is the score framework. It's like I could easily just be like, and now you're in the catacombs and there's like weird spooky shit happening. You're going cave diving. So I want to see how this becomes a score, what information you guys come back with, and how you determine to like turn it into a score in what capacity. So that'll be interesting. I have some thoughts. I have some ideas. So I'm excited to figure that out with you guys next time. But that's it. That's all I got, friends. That is it for this show. YouTube watchers, I hope you enjoyed this peek behind the curtain. If you liked this after show, we do these over on Patreon for all the rest of our shows. Join us over there at the $5 tier. Get access to all that fun stuff. This is your freebie peek behind the curtain on this show that we do not air on Twitch. We only record this. But I hope you enjoyed this. So that's it from all of us to you guys. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.